Good afternoon. My name is Justin Scott here with the Lowell Ledger, and I am here with three varsity boys lacrosse players, Finn Breeden, Caden Cohn, and JD Heiser. Welcome on, guys.
What's up? Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, so all three of you were freshmen on varsity, and you guys are all different ages, which is kind of cool. So Caden, you're a senior, JD, you're a junior, and Finn, you're a sophomore. Tell me, what was it kind of like going in as freshman on varsity and playing with guys who are 3 years older than you in some cases? So Finn, why don't you start us off?
Well, going into it, I knew that it would be a challenge because I was playing with one of the best teams that Lowell Lacrosse has ever really had, with guys like Andrew and Weston. So I was nervous being able to play up with them. But kind of as the season went, I really found my role, supporting them, and I mean, from there it was pretty smooth because I kind of knew what I was doing after about 5 or 6 games.
JD, what about you?
It was a lot different than I played a lot of club ball, so it was a big step from that. But I think as the season grew on, I got more used to the style of play, the speed of the game, and stuff like that.
And Kane, what about you? Because you had a ton of sophomores, especially, that were up on varsity with you as well.
Yeah, so my freshman year we had Andrew Weston as sophomores up on varsity, and that was one of our first years of our team being really good. I think we won conference the year before that, and then I think just getting into the whole rhythm of playing on varsity. I also played club, so I was kind of used to having a little higher competition, and then getting into the varsity level was definitely a big awakening, but it was really fun, and I enjoyed the challenge.
What's the club lacrosse scene like? Are you guys all in club or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All three of you. Okay. So when is club season, and would you guys say club is imperative to being an elite lacrosse player right now?
Well, club is just kind of it depends on how you want to treat club. Sometimes you can just do club as a fun summer activity because usually it takes place in the summer mainly. I mean, there's also fall tournaments and winter, but yeah, I mean, for it kind of depends. For me, I used to say club kind of just as a fun summer thing, but as of recently, last couple of years, I've tried to really grow my game through club, just to because I really wanted to make varsity as a freshman, so I took that summer before really seriously in club.
Right.
Yeah, I feel the same for me. I think club is good exposure. Definitely when you go out east, for depending on what club team you're on, there's definitely better kids on the east side of the United States. But yeah, it's just good exposure. You definitely get better just seeing other kids play and playing with kids that are better than you. So definitely helps a lot.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying there.
Are you guys playing any other sports? Finn, you're playing basketball, right?
Yeah, I play basketball.
Okay. How's that going?
I mean, it's all right. This is probably going to be my last year playing basketball, but I'm just trying to enjoy it while it lasts. Almost done. So.
And so when you say it's going to be probably your last year playing basketball, is that because you want to focus on lacrosse, or you're just not in love with the game of basketball anymore?
Mainly, it's a little bit of both. I still like the game of basketball, but I've kind of found my role, and I want to take lacrosse more seriously. And there's also in the winter there's box lacrosse, and I want to really start playing more box lacrosse because I think that'll make me a lot better of a field lacrosse player.
Okay. Now, tell me, what's it like playing for your dad?
Well, we definitely try and keep our personal lives off the field, so it's two different people. He treats me just like everyone else on the field, and then after, it's normal. But yeah, I mean, I try to just ignore the fact that it's my dad and he's just my coach, But I've kind of got, because he was my coach in 6th grade also, so I kind of was I knew what it'd be like to have him as my coach, and not as a dad. Yeah, so I've kind of been used to it, but.
I think that's a good way to compartmentalize it. Caden, so you were just involved. We just had the unified basketball games today. How do you become involved in that? Because I was told you really actually helped get that thing going.
Yeah, so last year, me and Tevin actually, and a couple other students in the school store, we were kind of just thinking, we're all these other schools have been doing these, and I think sports is a great way to kind of get everyone going, get everyone together. So just throughout this year, me and the teachers, Miss Morrell and Miss Rickert, have been talking with the Special Olympics to get this set up. So it's just kind of been a thing that I've really wanted to do along with the teachers, and I think sports is just a great way to have everyone get together. So basketball was my main sport, which is what I wanted to help out with and get going.
Mm-hmm. And that was, when you think of unified sports, it's kind of the big one, right? Because I remember, might have been a couple of years ago, it was Zealand. They had the blind girl, and they were like tapping the basketball hoop, and when she shot it and went in, everyone went like crazy.
Yeah.
So I think when you think of unified sports, that's kind of what you think about. And I thought it was great. Like everyone was super engaged today, and Kennewill was out, and everyone had a good time, and everyone was playing great. So I thought it was really cool to see. JD, so tell me about your experience coming into high school, because I remember kind of just talking with the coaches just before the season, and they're like, "Yeah, this JD kid, he's pretty good." So tell me about kind of your accomplishments going into high school.
A little bit before high school, I was working pretty hard during club season, traveling a bunch, like down south, out east. But that kind of helped me just get mentally prepared for the upcoming season. I know a lot of people were talking about me, which definitely made me nervous. So yeah, that didn't really help. But no, I think once I started high school at first was kind of like, wow, this is crazy, like this is real. But I think once tryouts started, I felt pretty good at tryouts. I had a good tryout, obviously. But yeah, I think just from there, everyone just was super like nice, and I feel like I was a brother to everyone. So everyone treated me nicely. Never had any problems, honestly. I don't think so. That was definitely a big thing. Is definitely felt like welcomed into high school. So.
And among many other things, you're the face-off guy.
Yeah.
Like what does that entail? Is there a lot more pressure there?
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, like start a game, it's super quiet or super loud, whatever. You're just waiting for that whistle to go, and you just kind of gotta find like a rhythm. You gotta lock in, block everyone out. But it's definitely nerve-wracking, especially, it's like Byron Center this year or this past year in playoffs, tied up overtime. It's a big face-off, so it's very nerve-wracking. But I think I've learned to handle it pretty well.
And I remember that overtime game because it was you guys are shaking your heads. I know it was back and forth. It was pretty evenly matched, and so JD, you won that face-off. And I think I remember what happened was we get a shot in. I don't remember who shot it, but it went off the goalie's leg, and then let's see, there was a goal that the entire crowd thought it went in. I didn't.
Mom goal.
Yeah. So the goal gets waved off, and so that I don't know if you guys knew that or.
I think a few of us.
I thought it was a goal at first.
Yeah.
But then it was like just like 5 seconds of like intense silence,
and so like that's already like deflating enough as it is, and then there was just a kind of a fluky turnover. Byron Center goes the other way, wins in overtime. How do you take like a loss like that and kind of learn from it going into this year?
Well, I think it was definitely rough to start. It was hard playing with those boys the whole season for it to just end like that. I think coming into the game we're a little too confident maybe. Like we just thought we had that, had it figured out. But I think I don't really know.
I think that coming back into this year, leaving off our season like that, we're missing a couple of parts of our team from last year, but I think this is a really big opportunity for us to like kind of prove that Lowell Lacrosse is still Lowell Lacrosse. This program that we have going is going to continue forever. So leaving it off like that last year has really given us a lot of motivation to come out and make a big statement this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like the seniors from last year really left a culture that is being carried on by guys like Jackson and Brady and other captains, and I think that we definitely have a lot of pressure because we want to try and live up to last year's expectations, even with less talent. But less talent doesn't mean you lose many games if you play smart, and that's what we're trying to kind of go into the year, believing that if we play smart and play together, we can win games.
Yeah, I mean, who besides you guys are going to be some key players to kind of fill in those gaps? Because you use Rogers, use Weston, Boonstra, Stokely, among some others. Uh, Tell me, who do you think's going to step up to fill those gaps?
Well, I mean, I think dudes like Cone, dudes like I think Jackson. Ever since the offseason really began, he really started taking in a captain role. You could tell he was a lot more vocal. I think he'll be a huge asset for us this year. I think defensively, I think Brady's really going to step up to be our main deep hole. We do have some other open spots on the defensive side that we're still trying to figure out who's going to fill it in.
Mm-hmm.
Nico Binns, he's a great LSM. He really gets an opportunity this year to show. And I mean, offensively, Garrett Kresge, this year he really gets, as a senior now, he gets an opportunity to really show what he can do, because last year he didn't get as many opportunities. And this year he can really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Barney's going to make a big difference this year in a defensive midi position, which we had the Parchettas last year filling in for that, which they were great. I think Barney's going to fill right into that role.
Yeah, I think he filled in good.
So let's go back. So it was about a year and a half ago now. So you guys were ranked 28th in the state, and you go into Memorial Stadium, you beat number 3 East Grand Rapids, which was crazy. I remember that very clearly. It's the biggest win in program history, pretty safe to say. You guys were all in different places now then. Some of you guys were on the team, some of you guys weren't. What do you guys remember about that game? So I'll start with you, Finn, because you weren't on the team.
I remember a lot. I was watching it in the stands with Crew Heisman, who's an upcoming freshman, and Natalie Boonshaw, who was Graham and Brady's little sister. And I remember it was 9-4 around the end of the third, and we were like, okay, this is probably over. And then all of a sudden we just started chipping away. We got it down to 2, and I mean, from there we just holy crap, it's a game. And then we managed to pull off that huge face-off win from Case,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then Jackson the game-winning goal. And it was probably one of my, as a fan watching a game, it was probably one of my most exciting moments. Even though it wasn't like the Super Bowl, it felt like the Super Bowl when we won. You know, it's I don't know, it just I was so happy for my brother and just the lacrosse, because I've always been so close with lacrosse with my dad starting the program and all, so it just meant a lot to me.
And I remember it like that too, because it was 9-4, and so I'm kind of up in the stands. I'm kind of relaxed a little bit. I'm doing photography, and I'm like, okay, I know how this goes. We keep it close, but we don't pull it off, that sort of thing. So I'm a little more relaxed, and we're starting to chip away, and we get a few more goals back, and I'm like, okay, I need to lock in, because it's so close. JD, what do you remember about it? Because you were a freshman, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was definitely a crazy feeling. It was scary. I didn't really contribute a lot that game, but I was there on the sideline trying to hype up the boys, but it was very scary. I think the boys handled it well. We had a very good coach, Mr. Lee. Drew up some good plays, but yeah, it was scary. I think just Lixie. I just remember Lixie passing down to Rodabush and him scoring the last 5 seconds, and then Case winning the next face-off, and that was it. So it was crazy.
It felt like we kind of had to win that face-off. Because just the way the game was going, it felt like if we lost the face-off, East was going to score.
Yeah.
So I know it was Case who won the face-off. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And so he wins the face-off, and you guys were able to kill off the time, and that was and then it all just went crazy.
Yeah.
How'd the game go for you, Caden?
I was in and out most of the game at midfield, and I just remember I was helping move the ball up and down, getting it to our good players, help facilitating the ball movement up and down the field. I think that around half we were down, 4-9?
I think so, yeah.
That halftime in that locker room, I remember our coach came in. That really kind of woke us up.
Mm-hmm.
We were being told basically just rely on your teammates. Everyone here's a team. It doesn't need to be to our best player. We're all working here on a team. We come out, pass down to Jackson, and instead of Connor keeping that ball to himself, he trusts Jackson to shoot that. Jackson scores, and I think that message we were told at half just kind of brought out that win for us.
Yeah.
What did you gather from East play? Because it seemed like they switched off for a little bit.
Yeah, I think they kind of got a little overconfident here. They got a lead up, and they were like, it's Lowell. We're going to beat them. It doesn't really matter. So I'm not sure if they just let off the brakes a little bit there, and we snuck right in that window.
I remember there was just one very clear lazy pass, and I think Lixie picked it up, and you guys scored from it. I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, Kane, of the senior group that's kind of coming in, who do you think is going to take a big leap as far as, both playing time and then team leadership? I know we talked about Rodabush. Anybody else?
I think Jackson and Brady have been kind of heading up our team this year. They're doing all the liftings, making sure everyone's all involved. I think that they're going to do a great job this year. I also agree Garrett and Nico are also going to be a big part of our team this year. Nico going to be filling in at LSM, which is a position he's never started at before. So he's going to definitely be a big influence on our game this year, seeing how we can do on defense. And then Garrett has just, from 2 years ago, the amount of development he has had. He's going to be a big part of our team this year on offense.
Yeah, Garrett goes every day during the summer. He would always be asking my dad to open the field up for him. He just worked so hard this offseason to get to the place he is at now. And now he's getting college looks and he's thinking about committing somewhere, and I'm just really happy for him because he deserves it.
Yeah, especially for starting playing lacrosse his freshman year. That's crazy.
What is kind of the winter training like? Because you can't really be outside right now.
So I do a lot of club, obviously. So we have a lot of club we have an indoor facility. So I do that every Monday, Wednesday. But as far as Lowell goes, we can we do wall ball, trying to get our sticks dialed in for season. Coach can only have 4 players at a time. But just like the MSA rules, or MSS.
MHSA.
Yeah. Yep. But those rules. So, I think it's definitely if you want, it's a good way to get dialed in before season. It's not good going in the season not having your stick dialed in, not ready to go. So.
Yeah, I agree. Our indoor lacrosse on Sundays too is a great way to get out. It's pretty fun. Just gets a little competitive, but you're more just out. You're not there to win. You're out there to have fun. So, kind of getting into that actual game, that game scene, that game feel is nice before the season.
Have you guys looked at the schedule yet, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still working on it, but it's pretty close to being finished.
Who are some of the teams you're kind of really looking forward to seeing? I know probably April 26th is circled on the schedule. That's Byron Center. Any other teams?
In those conference games, Cooper's own Kennewa, they've not really been good the past few years, but they're really starting to make a name for themselves. Coopersville's program is really starting to be built up. They might be legit this year, and if we can beat those teams, we win conference. So those are much more important games than I think we realize yet. Those are 2 games.
I'd say Mona. I feel like no one likes Mona.
Nobody likes Mona. All right. Are there? I'm trying to remember. There was a military game last year, right?
Yeah,
Parker Creek.
Okay, what's it like playing in that game?
For last year, it was a blowout last year, so it was not a lot of pressure, but there was still a lot, you were playing for somebody, there's somebody in there you were playing for, and that kind of definitely raised the stakes for me personally. I really wanted to go out there and honor, and so yeah.
And it's a good opportunity because you guys aren't in football, and football or soccer or volleyball, those are the 3 Pinkera ones. So at least this gives you guys an opportunity to play for somebody like that, because I know gymnastics is a military event. I think girls lacrosse does with you guys. I don't remember. Okay. So JD, what about you as far as playing for somebody? What does a game like that mean?
I think it's really cool. I think it's a cool event all around. Just seeing who the boys are playing for too. Just I feel like everyone almost works harder. In a way. It's just a good feeling coming out on top too after that. Playing for your loved ones. So.
Yeah, I believe that what we're doing with that game is great. Veterans really don't get enough appreciation for what they do. So I think that us being able to play for our family members, our close family friends, there's just a really big meaning behind that game every year for me.
And so now you're more than halfway through your senior year. Kind of where are you? Where's your mindset at? Have you got senioritis yet, or have you thought about college yet? What's kind of going through your head?
Yeah, I'd definitely say the senioritis is setting in pretty good here. But still staying focused at school. Keeping your grades up. And then college, I'm not looking to play lacrosse in college, but I've got my mind set on a couple areas to go from here.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I mean, season starts in less than 2 months, which is pretty crazy to think about, right? So you guys host Granville on March 20th, so that's opening day. So maybe, hopefully, there's not snow on the ground. Or in my case, I would rather it be snowing just for cool pictures. But you know. But anyway, anything else, guys?
Yeah,
No?
thank you very much.
All right. No. Thanks for coming on. It was a lot of fun.